The Project 877-636 class, known to NATO as the Kilo class, has been one of the most notable diesel-electric submarines since 1980. As one of the quietest of its type, it exists in two versions. While the original Project 877 Paltus class is now being decommissioned, the new boats of the Project 636 Varshavyanka class continue to be built. As the weapon detective, we're now investigating the Kilo class, the stealthy threat that lurks on nearly all critical waterways. The Kilo class has been one of the most successful diesel-electric submarines, both technologically and commercially, over the past 45 years. More than 70 boats in this class have been built, with 52 still active in 9 different navies. Russia has already ordered 4 new units. The story of this remarkable submarine dates back to the 1970s. In the 1970s, the nature of anti-submarine warfare, or ASW for short, underwent a dramatic change. Technological advancements in the hydroacoustic field led to the development of more effective sonars, making it easier to detect existing submarines. Acoustic homing torpedoes began to replace traditional depth charges as well as ASW rockets and mortars. The Soviet Navy required more silent submarines, and modifying the previous generation Project 641B class, which is known by NATO as the Tango class, was deemed as an inadequate solution. Designed to meet this requirement, the first Project 877 class submarine, B-248, was laid down on March 16, 1980, launched on September 12, 1980, and commissioned on December 31, 1980. She was essentially a prototype, and after her launch in 1980, the boat underwent rigorous testing. As a result, several modifications were made to the second and subsequent boats, collectively known as the Project 877M class. The letter M indicated the capability to launch wire-guided torpedoes. The hull of the Kilo class is quite different from its predecessors, featuring a relatively short and stout teardrop shape. This design increases submerged speed and reduces noise, but leads to poor seaworthiness when surfaced. The large, well-formed bow not only delivered excellent hydrodynamic and acoustic performance, but also provided an optimum shape for the sonar, enabling the installation of 6 torpedo tubes. Unlike the 3 propellers of earlier Soviet submarines, the Kilo class features one diesel-electric propeller, which enhances efficiency and reduces its acoustic signature. Nevertheless, its auxiliary propulsion system includes 2 small propellers, each driven by an electric motor housed in 2 4-meter-long tunnels in the stern casing with hydraulically operated entrance and exit doors. Propelling the submarine at 3 knots, they are regularly used for mooring and navigating restricted waterways. The boat retains the traditional Soviet-Russian double-hull design, not only to improve survivability, but also to provide valuable space for equipment such as the steering gear and high-pressure air bottles outside the pressure hull. The outer hull and pressure hull measure 72.6 and 51.8 meters in length, respectively. The Kilo class has a reserve buoyancy of 32% compared to 13% for US nuclear-powered submarines. Therefore, it can stay afloat with either one compartment and 2 adjacent main ballast tanks on the same side flooded, or with the stern compartment and the adjacent main ballast tank flooded. The Kilo class is divided into 6 compartments, each fitted with its own chemical firefighting system. The first section includes the torpedo room, living quarters, the infirmary, and the first group of batteries. The central post, chart room, radar, hydroacoustic, and communications operator's cabin, as well as the gyro compass, are situated in the second compartment. The submarine has a manual command and control system. The third compartment houses the second group of battery and the living quarters, which include the crew quarters, galley, and shower. The fourth compartment contains a diesel generator. The fifth one is the electric motor compartment. The stern emergency buoy is also released from this area. The sixth compartment houses the fuel-efficient electric motor, rudder drives, and the aft hatch. The Kilo class features 7 masts, including 2 attack periscopes, a snort intake, and antennas for radio direction finding, radar, radio navigation, and HF-VHF communications. The periscopes can be operated at speeds of 8 to 10 knots in up to sea state 5. The submarine can dive the periscope depth of 17.5 meters in 120 seconds. Its endurance is 45 days. The Kilo class features a 533mm compressed air-launched torpedo tubes, each equipped with a quick-loading device. Of these tubes, 2 can launch the TESD-71ME wire-guided torpedoes. It is capable of launching various other Soviet-Russian 533mm torpedoes, including the VA-111 Shkval, which can reach a top speed of 230 knots. The submarine can send the first salvo in 15 seconds, followed by the second in 2 minutes and the third 5 minutes later. The launch can occur at depths from 15 to 240 meters with speeds between 2.5 and 19 knots. The Kilo class, which can carry 18 torpedoes, can also lay 24 DM-1 sea mines. It features a storage compartment situated between the snorkel and the radio antenna masts, which can hold either 8 9K32 Strela 2 or 6 9K38 Igla manpads. They can only be fired when the submarine is surfaced. Known by the NATO reporting name as SAN-5 Grail, the Strela 2 has an effective range of 5,500 meters and can operate at altitudes of up to 4,500 meters. The Igla, known by the NATO as the SAN-8 Gimlet, has a range of 5 kilometers and a maximum effective altitude of 3,500 meters. Algeria, China, India, Iran, Myanmar, Poland, Romania, Russia, and Vietnam are the operators. The Romanian submarine Delfinul, on the other hand, has been inactive since 1995, but still serves in harbor training roles. The complement of the Project 877M class is 52 people. The submarine has a length of 72.6 meters, a beam of 9.9 meters, and a draught of 6.6 meters. Its surface and submerged displacements are 2,325 and 3,076 tons, respectively. The propulsion system consists of two 1,500 horsepower 42DL42M inline diesel engines with gas turbine supercharging, two 1,340 horsepower PG142 diesel generators, one 5,500 horsepower PG141 electric motor, one 190 horsepower cruise motor, and two 102 horsepower reserve propulsion motors. Its top surface and submerged speeds are 10 and 17 knots respectively. The range of the Kilo class is 6,000 nautical miles, in other words, 11,110 kilometers. Its maximum safe diving depth is 300 meters. A single submarine, B-800 Kaluga, was fitted with an experimental propeller made of a special alloy with 7 L-shaped blades and was redesignated as the Project 877 LPMB class. Another one, B-871 Alrusa, was equipped with pump jet propulsion. This version is known as the Project 877V class. The Project 877MK variant features a considerably enhanced command system. The Project 877E, 877EM, and 877EMK classes are modified export versions without manpads. The Project 877EMK class submarines of the Indian Navy are locally known as the Sindhughosh class. Their later modernized version is the Project 08773 class. They have acquired the 3M54E missile firing capability, the Lama ER missile control system, and the new MGK400EM hydroacoustic system and enhanced control and maintenance systems. With the NATO reporting name of the improved Kilo class, the Project 636 Varshavyanka class is a modernized version of the Project 877 EKM class. The name Varshavyanka reflects its original design intention for export to Warsaw Pact countries. However, no Allied nations acquired it, and no submarines were built during the First Cold War. The Polish and Romanian submarines are the Project 877 class. The first Project 636 class boat was built for the People's Liberation Army Navy. It was laid down on July 16, 1996, launched on April 26, 1997, and commissioned on August 26, 1997. To further minimize the acoustic signature, several measures have been implemented on the improved Kilo class. These include mounting the electric motor on a flexibly mounted raft, reducing the shaft speed from 500 to 250 revolutions per minute, redesigning various auxiliary systems, refining the bow profile to decrease flow noise, and removing all sound-generating equipment from the forward compartment. Moreover, the exterior of the hull is completely covered in anechoic tiles made from rubber with a classified additive. This material creates a molecular structure that absorbs incoming active sonar transmissions and dampens the submarine's own noise. This version includes new, more powerful, and more fuel-efficient diesel engines, along with electric motors that have increased output. The Project 636 class features greater automation due to its more advanced automated system, which integrates all sensor inputs and fuses their data through the MVU-110EM, a fully digital 3-processor combat information system. It offers automatic task resolution, tracking 5 targets simultaneously. 2 are auto-tracked, while the remaining 3 require manual control. Unlike the Kilo class, the improved Kilo class has a submerged speed of 19 knots. The submarine can travel 400 nautical miles while submerged at a speed of 3 knots without snorkeling. It can snorkel to sustain an underwater cruise speed of 7,500 nautical miles at a speed of 7 knots with a full battery recharge taking approximately 20 minutes. The submarine can travel 400 nautical miles while submerged at a speed of 3 knots without snorkeling. Another difference from the Kilo class was that this variant can launch 3M54 caliber cruise missiles. With the NATO reporting name of SSN-27A Sizzler, this missile can deliver a 500 kg warhead to a distance of 2,500 kilometers. The Chinese submarines, designated as the Project 636M class, feature a locally developed electronic support measure system and are capable of launching the YJ-18 missiles, the local copy of the caliber. The first of the latest Project 636.3 class, built for the Russian Navy, is the B-261 Novorossiys. She was laid down on August 20, 2010, launched on November 28, 2013, and commissioned on August 21, 2014. As of 2025, 11 submarines have been delivered, 1 is under construction, and another has been ordered. The Project 636.3 class has a length of 74.5 meters and a submerged displacement of 3,950 tons, and it is equipped with a 7-bladed propeller instead of the 6-bladed one on the earlier variants. The successor, Project 677 Lada class, is essentially an improved version of the Kilo class. In 1999, the Indian Navy had deployed RNS Sindhughosh very close to the port of Karachi in Pakistan during the Kargil War. Later, she sank on August 14, 2013, following an explosion caused by a fire on board while berthed in Mumbai. In 2015, Russia deployed 5 Kilo-class submarines to Tartus, Syria. B-237 Rostov-na-Don, B-268 Veliky Novgorod, and B-271 Kulpina carried out caliber missile strikes on ISIS targets during this mission. After the dissolution of the USSR, Ukraine seized Alrusa on March 13, 1992. However, due to a shortage of spare parts and batteries, the submarine was unable to leave the port. Although Ukraine resolved these issues in 1996, it transferred the boat to Russia in the following year. Alrusa took part in the 2008 Russo-Georgian War. She has also participated in the ongoing Russo-Ukrainian War, launching caliber missiles. Rostov-na-Don was attacked twice by Ukrainian forces on September 13, 2023 and August 2, 2024. Following the first attack, the Russian Navy had to dry dock the submarine hit by Scalp missiles for repairs. However, according to the Ukrainian sources, the submarine did not survive the second attack. The Russian Navy, on the other hand, claims that she was merely hit and not sunk. Designed for operation in the cold waters of Russia, the cooling mechanism of the Kilo class is weak. Consequently, submarines operated by export customers in warm waters, such as India and Iran, require additional cooling pumps, which, according to some sources, generate detectable noise. Iran, which had failed to acquire Tang and Type 209 class submarines in the 1970s, finally realized its goal with 3 Kilo-class boats. Before that, the Persian Gulf was a submarine-free zone. Therefore, the delivery of these 3 submarines to Iran has significantly altered the naval strategic situation over the most critical petroleum and natural gas route. The northern Gulf of Oman and the limited deep water areas of the Persian Gulf are notoriously difficult for ASW operations. Additionally, the tangled international relations in the region have once again revealed themselves with this acquisition. India, which also operates the Kilo-class boats and is a prominent supporter of Israel, provided some training assistance to Iran. It is also reported that Indian engineers helped resolve issues with battery cooling. Despite being designed 45 years ago, the Kilo-class remains one of the best diesel-electric submarines available. While its latest Western counterparts, such as the Scopan, Type 212 and Type 214 classes, benefit from air-independent propulsion, advancements in battery technology have made this feature less critical. The installation of lithium-ion batteries could potentially extend the lifespan of the Kilo-class design by another 45 years. Recent orders from the Russian Navy indicate that we will continue to see these submarines operating both on and beneath the seas for a long time. Thanks for watching our video. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to be notified of our new videos. Also, you can now click the join button to support our channel. And as always, we would greatly appreciate all of your likes, comments, and shares.